How do you look forward to managing your relationships with Pakistan? How do you see you can get yourselves in a position where you're back in dialogue and have a chance to get a grip on the stability of South Asia?
Well, you used two keywords, and I would like to begin by differentiating them. One was Kashmir and one was Pakistan. And I'll tell you why I do that. I don't think that the fundamental issue between India and Pakistan is Kashmir. Okay, I think it's part of the issues between us. But if you look at a lot of what has happened in the last 30, 40 years, you had, for example, the 26/11 attack on the city of Mumbai. Now, the city of Mumbai is a few thousand miles away from Kashmir. You had, the abortive attack on the Indian Parliament. So I think there are a larger, we should distinguish between the antipathy, the deep antipathy that that segments of Pakistan nurse towards India, from coveting Kashmir. I think they are autonomous issues. They are linked to each other, but they're not the same issue.
Accept the distinction. Focus on Pakistan.
So let me look at Pakistan. To my mind, the big challenge before us is, if you have differences with a neighbor, how do you resolve them? Now, these differences are not normal differences because they are rooted in our history, and our history is not, to the extent any two neighbors have what we may call a normal history, it's not a normal history. Now, if you look in terms of how these countries have dealt with each other, and I'm obviously giving you my side of it, you have a neighbor who will not trade with you, who's a member of the WTO and before that of the GATT, but who will not extend MFN status, even though they are legally obliged to, and we did. You have a neighbor who would not allow you connectivity. So we have, for example, the potential to use Pakistan to transit on to Afghanistan or Iran, but they will not allow you that connectivity. Who, in many ways, have slowed down regionalism, largely because of a concern that that might integrate them more with our economy, who filter people-to-people interaction. So it's a very challenging neighbor, okay? Now, all of that you could still handle if they then don't do the one thing which is actually unacceptable in the world today, which is to conduct terrorism as, in their eyes, a legitimate tool of statecraft, as a way of pressurizing you to come to the negotiating table. Now, it's not that it's never been done before in history, but it's not today acceptable as a sort of norm of international relations anymore. There's no part in the world, you have terrorism in different parts of the world, but there's no part of the world where a country uses it consciously, deliberately, as a large-scale industry against its neighbor. So for me, the issue is not, do you talk to them, don't you talk to them? Of course, everybody wants to talk to the neighbor. The issue is, how do I talk to a country that is conducting terrorism, and which, frankly, I would say follows a policy of implausible deniability. That, they do it, they kind of pretend they don't do it, they know that that pretense is not serious, but yet they do it. So how do you address that? I think it's a huge challenge for us.